In this video, I'll be showing you how I build my models. For painting model car bodies, I will need an airbrush, and this is the airbrush I usually like to use. This is a paint booth, which prevents dust and dirt from getting into my paint. Now that I'm in my paint booth, I could get to sanding. Now the sandpaper I usually use is 400 grit. The reason why you want to sand the body first before you paint it is to help make the paint stick to the body. I know when I'm done when I don't see any shiny parts of the plastic. So I'll be using black surface primer to paint my body. This is due to the color is going to be silver, and that's going to make it pop. Now when I'm using an airbrush, I go horizontally and vertical. This is to blend in my strokes with the paint. The key is to always keep your hand moving and always at the same pace. Now, since I'm done priming, I will be using the silver paint to paint my car. Make sure to shake the paint really well before use. Now it's time to airbrush. Same thing as I did with the primer, I need to go horizontally and vertical and do light thin coats. The reason why I do thin light coats is so that I don't make the paint peel and also bubble up when I'm painting. After 1 hour dry time, it's time to do the second coat. After 1 hour of dry time, I'll be sanding the body with very fine sandpaper. I decided to take a break on the body and start on the interior of the car. First of all, I want some parts to be red and some parts to be black in the interior. So what I did is I had to mask off the certain parts where I want red and then paint it red with an airbrush. As you can see here, I carefully put the tape on. I don't want to put too much tape on because it might rip the paint when I peel it off. When you want to make some parts a color but you can't mask it off, try hand brushing it. For any touch-ups, I usually use a thin marker. For small details, I'll be making a race harness and seat belts, so I'll make tiny holes to thread the ribbon in. For the floor, I want it to have a carpet texture, so I'll be using flocking. Flocking is like a lint that makes a carpet texture. While I let the carpet dry, I'll be using decals for the speedometer. First, I need to cut out the decal. Next, I'll let the decal soak in the water for 5 seconds to 10 seconds until the decal comes off. Then, I will pull out the decal. Moving back to the body, I'll be buffing it. To do this yourself, you would need about 5,000 grit sandpaper. In this model kit, they provided this awesome window masking sheet, so I can do the outside window trim. For this, I'll be using flat black. Once I was done airbrushing, I immediately took off the masking. I'll be using tweezers to pull off the masking. The reason why I'm doing that is because I don't want my finger to mess up the paint. Alright, it looks good. Now let's go over to the body. Now I want a red stripe going down through the body, so I'll be measuring it out and where the center is and where I want it. So I'm going to mark the middle. Then I'll draw a line so I know where to mask and where not to mask.